Welcome to Embrace Yourself. My name is Kim, and I'm a movement specialist passionate about joy, health, and happiness. I want each of us to discover our healthiest, happiest selves, but to do that, we have to get up and move. Today, I'd like to demonstrate a series of exercises to help us get up and move our best first thing in the morning. Now, I know some people are going to say to me, Kim, I have to get up and go first thing in the morning. And I get it. We're all super busy. But then they say to me, no, literally, Kim, I need to get up and go first thing in the morning. Oh, well, in that case, I totally understand. But if you can come back and just do these few things for movement, I swear it's going to make your day so much better. We've all woken up on the wrong side of the bed, and we know what doom and gloom awaits us. This is a great way for us to prep our bodies, much like a cat or a dog, because we never see them just jump up and go unless we scare the living daylights out of them. For the most part, they're stretching and prepping and mobilizing their body for movement. So let's get started. I like to start on my back because I'm typically a back sleeper. So from here, I just bring one knee into my chest and kind of hold, and I'm pressing it down into that hip joint. And then I stretch and release and repeat on the other side. Now, for those of you who are super efficient and saying, Kim, can I just bring both knees in and be done with it? I personally don't like to do that first thing in the morning, because I've been laying on a cushion for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, and that's a lot for the back to all of a sudden have to load both of my knees right over that spine. So I like to just do one leg at a time, but see what works best for you. After that, I transition into a nice long leg stretch, and I'll start to mobilize that ankle, just pointing and flexing the toe up and down. So this is known as plantar and dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion when it's down, plantar when it's pointed. Just so you know a fancy little term you can use at a dinner party. Then I circle the ankle around and reverse back the other way. So I'm mobilizing the ankle. And in the meantime, I'm getting a nice little hamstring stretch. Then I repeat on the other leg. For those of you that have any kind of ankle mobility issues, this feels so good, and you're going to be shocked because some people get out of bed and they feel really stiff in their joints until they move a few steps. Well, we're doing it all with gravity assistance, so this makes it so much better. After that, I roll to one side, and I place my hands just with my arms around either side of my head. I pretend like I'm a book, and I'm getting ready to do an exercise called book opening. However, when I do this variation first thing in the morning, I'm really just focusing on opening that chest and opening my sternum. So I may not go very far. The reason I say this, I don't want to move to the point where I start to feel anything in my lumbar spine, known as my low back. I want to keep it so that my hips stay stacked and I'm just opening and stretching out that chest. Now, I'm going to repeat it on the other side, but first I like to add a little side-to-side leg. For me, it's all about a transition of the dance. So I just move those knees side to side, keeping the feet down. And again, some people will say, well, what if I want to do this with my feet up in the air? You do what works for your body. I'm trying to be gentle first thing in the morning and just get my body motivated for its best day ever. After I do this, then I repeat book opening on the other side. So you'll see it's just a very tiny range of motion. I'm not trying to go crazy first thing in the morning. That's for later in my day. And I just do a few repetitions. So maybe I do 3 or 4 and just breathe and see how everything feels. From here now, I transition onto all fours. And I like to do this to prep my hip for movement. So I'm going to hinge back. And for anyone with a knee injury that doesn't have full range in the knees, you just go where it feels comfortable for you. But you'll notice I'm trying to keep my back relatively straight, and I'm moving from my hips. This is my pounce exercise because I'm getting power through my hips. And this reminds me a lot of a cat because cats love to prep their hips and pounce. So I just get that nice, easy movement going back and forth through the hips. Some people like to add cat and cow after this because they feel like it really helps their spine. You are welcome to do that. I just find for a lot of people, that's a lot of load first thing in the morning. And many people will find their cow by arching into their lumbar spine, that low back. And I really want the cow coming from my sternum. So for me, I prefer the hinge, but everyone needs to try what works for them. Now I'm ready to get up and start going. But first I'm going to do a hip flexor stretch. And in that hip flexor stretch, I'm going to be standing. I want to really focus on engaging my core. And I'm just kind of hinging down, but I'm keeping my legs supported on the bed. And I'm just getting a stretch through the front of that hip. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. So I reverse and switch angles. And again, I'm focused on drawing my abs in. I'm lengthening and I'm just opening that hip. So this is it. This is the series of exercises to get up and go first thing in the morning. I promise if you try doing this, you are going to be shocked at the difference that it makes. It really feels so good. So that's your home fun for today. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope you try it and see how it feels for you. Any comments or likes, feel free to leave them below, because I'd love to hear if you find a stretch that works better for you. In the meantime, I sure do hope that you'll click subscribe on my channel, as well as dinging that bell so you make sure you get the notifications. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.